But I think most companies in SaaS uh, should be thinking about, hey, how do we take data on how people consume our product and make this front and center in how we kind of acquire, convert, and expand our users. And so to me, usage-based pricing ties really, really closely with product-led growth.
Do you have any flavor you actually prefer for the majority of the software as a service businesses out there? Any that you see that it's thriving among everyone else, everything else that is most preferred? I don't know.
There, it's still a new concept, and so say it's not like there's one model that's emerging as the runaway leader. And in fact, many companies find that they want to deploy different models depending on the customer type. And so they might want to land a new customer in a transactional or pay-as-you-go manner to allow them to kind of have an extended trial and not have to make a big commitment before they know how much they're going to use it. They also can open up access to the product to everyone on their team. And then it's only at that point that sales comes in and says, hey, we can get you on a predictable subscription, give you some more runway with your usage. I mean, you only have to kind of get one budget approval from your finance team. And so companies can strategically deploy different licensing models with their customers. I think AWS, as an example, has about a dozen of them. And so I'd say that rather than recommending one specific one, I'd say make sure that you have flexibility built into your motion to be able to offer the right licensing type to the right customer at the right part of their journey.
And do you think that there are some companies that perhaps should not go there? I mean, like at all? Or is it the usage-based pricing ideal for a specific kind of software as a service solutions? Because there are so many categories, to be honest.
Well, one way to think about it is, usage-based, incorporating usage as part of pricing is used by almost every company that's been successful. So like a Salesforce has usage limits in different packages that lead you to have to upgrade from one tier to the next. Zoom, which we're using right now, is known for charging based on the number of seats or user licenses. But their paywall probably wouldn't be successful if they didn't have a usage limit. Instead of saying one user can use Zoom as much as they want, it's saying, hey, you can use Zoom for unlimited one-on-one meetings, but for group meetings, it's a 40-minute time limit. And that's a really hard usage cap that leads to people converting from free to paid. And so like incorporating usage, I think, is key across the board. With that said, there are certainly some businesses that are able to go further down the road of usage-based pricing than others. And I'd say anything developer or infrastructure software related is a really amazing candidate for usage-based pricing. That's where the model really started. And I think AWS is really pioneering usage-based pricing and giving developers flexibility to pay as they consume AWS instead of paying for servers or really expensive upfront costs when they didn't know how much they need and might be overpaying for their consumption. And so AWS really kind of turned that model on its head, and that inspired developers to say, hey, why should we pay for other solutions in this old school kind of big subscription commitment type of way, and we want to have the flexibility to pay as we go or pay as we consume. So that's the starting point. They also, anything marketing technology oriented tends to be more at the front edge of usage-based pricing. That's in a lot of cases because marketers get budget based on performance. And if campaigns are paying off, if software is generating more leads for them, then they're able to build a more successful business and they're able to get a bigger budget to pay for software. And so that way, a usage-based model aligns really well with the team that you're selling into. But there are some industries that are not as kind of comfortable, especially going all the way to pay-as-you-go or consumption-based. I think I just advocate for folks to really consider it. And even if they might think that this is going to be challenging in your industry, your buyers aren't used to it, test it. Talk to your customers about it. You might be surprised at what you'd hear We even have a portfolio company called Logical that has a pay-as-you-go option for law firms for their e-discovery product. And many of the largest players in their space are typically on-premise software solutions, or have kind of these bloated subscriptions. But those didn't fit well for small and mid-sized law firms. And small and mid-sized law firms just don't know how much legal discovery work they're going to have over the next year. They don't have a big software budget that they set aside. They don't have professionals that focus on it. So many of them use consultants to outsource it already. And for them, that actually works well. They can bill it back to their clients. They know that they're not overpaying for it. And so Logical was able to fit into the kind of billing model that they were comfortable with using third-party consultants, but they could do so coming in a lot cheaper than consultants would cost, in a way that's easy to use, gives lawyers more control over their discovery, and is more secure because you're not shipping data to a third party. And so for a firm like Logical, the decision to go consumption-based or pay-as-you-go was not necessarily something that others in their industry were advocating or was established, but by talking to their customers, they realized that there was a big opportunity to disrupt the space.